Okay, so guys, we're actually now on a walking tour. I mean, you can see some of these carvings are just absolutely amazing. Some of these tombs are, you know, a couple hundred years old. I think, what did they say the cemetery? 1832 the cemetery was founded. So some of these are old. You're in, you know, you can kind of see how far down the cemetery goes. The area that we're in right now, this is the posh part of the cemetery, so you can see some of these carvings and stuff. These were all done by a guy named Pharrell. No, not the musician, but a famous carver here. And he apparently did 95% of all of the statues in the entire of Ireland, not just the graveyard, the entire of Ireland, 95% this guy. So some of these are just beautiful. I mean, you know, if you guys can tell as you're walking by, the sculptures are covered in the old moss and there's plants growing out of them, and you can see all the flowers that have been planted, you know, down the walkways and such. Absolutely lovely. Some of the Celtic crosses they were pointing out, you know, you can see here, if you can see the details, these ones are much more pagan in nature, you know, animals and birds, this kind of thing, versus of course the Christian versions of Jesus and Mary, of course. So this tower is actually a monument to, I think it was O'Donnell. O'Donnell is the guy who led the revolution that we were hearing the speech about, or from earlier, the reenactor from earlier. So you can see a lot of the headstones here are kind of more of the flat, very tombstone looking, versus on the other side. You can see a lot more of the Celtic crosses, you know, a lot more of the older style. So you can see on that end a lot of these beautiful Celtic crosses. A lot of detail. So there in the background you can see the big building. That's the main building. There's actually a museum here, and you can look up your ancestry. So, you know, if anybody's got ancestors buried here in Glasnevin Cemetery in Ireland, this is the place you want to come to do research. You can see some of the crypts are just lovely, you know, full little underground tombs. We were informed that basically, even if your headstone is east-west or north-south, you will always be buried with your head to the east, as that is, I guess this is basically a Catholic cemetery, but they do have all sorts of different religions here. We learned there are 4 Jewish people buried in this cemetery, but there are Muslim and Protestant and Catholic and pagan and all sorts of different people buried here, religious value groups here. You'll notice very clearly that they're all in lines. So the entire cemetery was very specifically built. You know, these are those rows that I was talking about. So this is probably, you know, well, let's see if we can actually find the marker here on one of the graves. It is on the tombstones. Let's see if we can find the exact marker. It actually tells you which row we're in. Some of these older ones, kind of hard to see. Marker piece. Just trying to find one where we can see it. Absolutely lovely, as you can tell. These pieces are just gorgeous. And of course now I can't seem to find any of the markers. So I will keep looking and see if we can find one of the markers to show you guys how that works. So for example, here's a good version of the marker. So you can see on the back. So this is row NC 3.5, which means it's half of a plot. And this large monument here would be NC3. Weather started to get a little bit cloudy, but it's been absolutely lovely and sunshiny all day here. You know, everybody's telling us that from Arizona we've brought the sunshine with us, and it certainly felt like it for the past couple of days. We've had absolutely lovely and beautiful weather. So, you can see the storm starting to come in. We had blue skies, and no longer blue skies. So. Alright guys, I am going to let you go. We're going to go see if we can find some lunch, and I'll keep you guys involved if there's anything awesome we see after lunch.